Hi, everybody. I miss you so much. I'm stranded or trapped with these two. I mean, things could be worse, but I'm sure like everybody else, we are trying to kill the time. So some of you might remember me mentioning this is not the first time in history that people have had to quarantine themselves. And back during the 1300s, the Black Death swept Europe, and 2 books were written at that time. In England, the Canterbury Tales were written to talk about how people experienced the quarantines in London or in Canterbury, England. And in Italy, outside of Florence, the Decameron was written by Giovanni Boccaccio. And Giovanni Boccaccio said that the only way to survive self-isolation during a quarantine is to pass the time with stories. So I thought that I would share what I think are the best stories in the history of the world, and that is Greek mythology. So what I'd like to do tonight is a little introduction of Greek mythology. And by the way, this is my son Jaden, and this is my son Maddox, and I'm really excited because I'm going to be reading Greek myths to them. And
hi, Mama.
Hello. Can you say hi to everybody?
Hi.
And so we'll get started. And this is my favorite version of Greek mythology, Delaire's Book of Greek Myths. And so right here, I'll do a close-up of the family tree of the gods.
That's when you repeat it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll go over the gods after we read about them. Okay. In olden times, when men still worshipped ugly idols, there lived in the land of Greece a folk of shepherds and herdsmen who cherished light and beauty. They did not worship dark idols like their neighbors, but created instead their own beautiful, radiant gods. No, not yet. The Greek gods looked much like people and acted like them too, only they were taller, handsomer,
Put it down.
and could do no
down.
wrong.
Put the phone down.
Fire-breathing monsters and beasts with many heads stood for all that was dark and wicked. They were for gods and great heroes to conquer. The gods lived on top of Olympus, a mountain so high and steep that no man could climb it and see them in their shining palace. But they often descended to earth, sometimes in their own shapes, sometimes disguised as humans or animals. Mortals worshipped the gods, and the gods honored Mother Earth. They had all sprung from her, for she was the beginning of all life. Gaia. Gaia, the earth, came out of darkness so long ago that nobody knows when or how. Earth was young and lonesome, for nothing lived on her yet. Above her rose Uranus, the sky, dark and blue, set all over with sparkling stars. He was magnificent to behold, and young Earth looked up at him and fell in love with him. Sky smiled down at Earth, twinkling with his countless stars, and they were joined in love. Soon young Earth became Mother Earth, the mother of all living things. All her children loved their warm and bountiful mother and feared their mighty father, Uranus, Lord of the universe. And this is one artist's rendition. The Titans. The Titans were the first children of Mother Earth. They were the first gods, taller than the mountains she created to serve them as thrones, and both earth and sky were proud of them. There were 6 Titans, 6 glorious gods, and they had 6 sisters, the Titanesses, whom they took for their wives. When Gaia again gave birth, Uranus was not proud. Their new children were also huge, but each had only one glowing eye set in the middle of his forehead. They were the 3 Cyclopes, and they were named Lightning, Thunder, and Thunderbolt. They were not handsome gods, but tremendously strong smiths. Sparks from their heavy hammers flashed across the sky and lit up the heavens so brightly that even their father's stars faded.
What's her name?
That's Gaia. After a while, Mother Earth bore 3 more sons. Uranus looked at them with disgust. Each of them had 50 heads and 100 strong arms. He hated to see such ugly creatures walk about on lovely Earth, so he seized them and their brothers, the Cyclopes, and flung them into Tartarus, the deepest, darkest pit under the earth. Mother Earth loved her children and could not forgive her husband for his cruelty to them. Out of hardest flint, she fashioned a sickle and spoke to her sons, the Titans. Take this weapon. Make an end to your father's cruelty and set your brothers free. Fear. What's that?
What weapon is it?
A sickle. Ooh, we'll have to find a picture of a sickle. It looks like this. It's got this curved edge.
Okay.
And I'll show you in a second. See? There's the sickle. And there's another. Take this weapon and make an end to your father's cruelty and set your brothers free. Fear took hold of 5 of the Titans, and they trembled and refused. Only Cronus, the youngest but the strongest, dared to take the sickle. So who is that?
I don't know.
His name is Cronus. Yes. Do you know why it's so scary for them to take the sickle?
Why?
Because it means, what are they going to do to their father?
Kill him?
Yes.
They're gonna kill them.
Yes, sorry, Daddy.
Why?
Because he's trapping them and she doesn't like that.
Why?
All right.
Why she doesn't like that?
Well, how would you feel if all of your children were trapped? Would you be sad?
No, I will be sad.
Yeah.
Oh,
So fear took hold.
And I will let them come out.
Exactly. That's what she wants to do.
Yeah.
So fear took hold of the 5 of the Titans, and they trembled and refused.
She wanted to do it.
Only Cronus, the youngest but the strongest, dared to take the sickle. He fell upon his father. Uranus could not withstand the weapon wielded by his strong son, and he fled, giving up his powers. Mother Earth made Pontus, the boundless sea, her second husband, and from this union sprang the gods of the watery depths, and from her rich ground grew an abundance of trees and flowers, and out of her crevices sprites, beasts, and early men.
What
That's
you
4.
doing?
We'll continue tomorrow. Good night.
What you doing?